Apologies for the technical difficulties here. We've now got the vision, and it's Launceston by 24 points. Firmly in the ascendancy here in this NTFA Women's Premier League preliminary final. Apologies for the technical issues that prevented us from getting quarter number one out, but all ready to go here. And it's Deloraine with some work to do. Launceston 24 points to the good here. They've started this game very sharply indeed. 3 goals to Jamie Todman, who's been the star of the show. Has them well on the way. Someone just slips through the hands of Bowman. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Perhaps the technical difficulties are now gone. We'll keep our fingers crossed that we can bring this to you uninterrupted. Apologies and thanks for bearing with us as Baxter snaps one around the corner trying to get Deloraine going here. But she's offline and a minor score only. Second place finish for Deloraine. Coming into this day, having lost narrowly to South Launceston in a thriller last week. Launceston getting over the top of Scottsdale probably would have come in as slight underdogs, with Deloraine having scored victories in the previous 2 meetings, but it's Launceston who've absolutely jumped them here early on. Todman with 3 as Witt looks to force that one out. Can't quite do so. Eventually is released. Umpire lets it go for a while, but eventually going to have to call for a ball up just outside the paint of 50. Cameron gets up and she'll contest the ruck duel with Hill, who reaches over the top, won it down. Good tackle there from Lefevre, and it's going to be rewarded. Holding the ball on the half-back line, so Grace Lefevre feigns one way and eventually does use Radford. Radford lofts one high down the wing, big fly from the side, spilt out the back. Launceston force it forward with the Burl towards the middle of the ground. Good tackle laid again. Another stoppage forced by Deloraine as they try and get a foothold in this game. Seth Cameron, key for their hopes. The Burl won it down, but won it down straight to Whitehead. Whitehead lofts it forward for the Roos. Kelsey Hill doing the defensive work there. Hillier wanting in as it's worked out there to Bowman. Bowman just gets her kick away in time to Baxter. Baxter didn't get much purchase on that. Lefevre goes back in. Hillier couldn't get a handle on it. Cameron crashing through. Spills out the back where it's gathered by Hill. Just slaps it on the boot into space. It was an intelligent kick because Witt had just peeled off down the wing. Loses a handle on the bounce. Just keeps paddling it though, Witt. In the end couldn't quite gather it. Goes back in though, kept on keeping on, did Delta Witt. The handball not quite so good. Bounced back in their own path. Handball from Whitehead. Cameron besieged by 3. And the turnover force, Lefevre able to work it out to Hill. Hill drives it towards the half-forward line. Whitehead been busy last few minutes. She's brought down by Dunn. Just got the ball away in time. Taylor's kick into the middle of the ground. Radford comes in. Ball again released. Mark not paid as Leonard did just enough to break it up, and ball just eludes Georgia Hill, and seizing upon that one is Evans. Evans now dashing away with it, also lost a handle on it. Hill boxing on for Launceston, and the boundary line is going to win out. So tossed back into play. Deloraine in dire need of a goal to spark them into this one. Bowman tries to get free, sends a kick around the corner. An opportunity coming up here as the mark is taken by Chloe Parry. A chance for a badly needed major for the Roos. And she deliver their first of the preliminary final. Hooks the kick. Won't have the journey. Ball to be won. Cameron spiked it to ground. Williams fed the handball out for Bowman. And Bowman draws the free kick. So can she succeed? And Perry fouled moments earlier. Bowman, can she deliver the goal her side so badly needs, right to the line, and it's off hands. Hayley White back there. Quality defender for this Launceston outfit. She's able to get a hand to that one, ensure a minor score only. She'll play on quickly out of the square here. Goes searching up there towards the half-back line where Kikoak was. Hill joining in. Kikoak would be able to get that one free. Just hands it back to the umpire. She'll compete with Cameron in this rack contest. Cameron reaches over the top. Bustling through Herbel. Spilt the mark there. Stevenson might invite in Georgia Hill. Herbel seizes on it. Thumps it wide. Just kicks into open space. Handball intercepted there by Base. Was forward by Todman. 3 goals for Todman in this one for Launceston. Three of her side's first 4. So well and truly on the front foot. Taylor trying to wriggle free, but Sienna Smith has a hold of her. Windy day at Windsor Park for this one. Spot in the grand final against South Launceston on the line as Evans forces it forward for the Roos. Tracking it is Perry. Will it sit for her? It wouldn't quite. The numbers favoured Launceston as well. Perry did pretty well to fight on. If they can force a stoppage, that'd be a good result. Did nicely there, Chloe Perry. Will be tossed up. Tight to the line. Evans will apply the pressure and force it over. One down, paddled away by Schoenmaker. Again, Karina Baxter applying pressure. So Deloraine on top territorially here in quarter number 2, but they need to make some inroads on the scoreboard here. In arrears by 22 points as we tick towards the halftime break. We're just eluding Rosso, and then it'll be sent back in. Stevenson with a penetrating kick. Hill got back and defended. Going to come back in via the boot of Lehman. That's chopped off by Meg Radford. The stars of this Launceston outfit. Heads wide, searching for Smith. Bounce eludes her. Beaumont tracking it. Brought it under a spell nicely. Fed it to Cameron. Got the shepherd from Bowman. Cameron now feeds it back out. The pressure comes from Smith, and they force the turnover. Radford looks to drive it out of defence, and then Herbel able to force it forward only so far as Whitehead. Whitehead precise by foot in the direction of Polk, seen away from her. And across the line. Lobbed back into play. One down by Cameron. Deloraine go forward again here, but it's chopped off, and immediately playing on was Weinberg. That was ill-advised. And a free kick here going the way of Hayley Meeburn. And can this be the spark for the Roos? Meeburn with a great run down and tackle rewarded. Can she provide the finish and her side's first goal? It's a windy, windy day as she sends this one out into the pocket. Won't have the journey. Evans trying to get to work. And it's held up there by Kikoak. A stoppage deep inside Deloraine's forward 50. Can they find a goal here? Kikoak didn't really clear it first time asking, then sent it back in towards a dangerous area. Arriving's Lehman, but it spills out the way of Witt. Witt tries to get the hands free, but she's brought down again. Meeburn bringing the heat inside forward 50. They're able to get the ball away as far as Rosso, though. She's collected. Turning away with it is Williams. Stabs the short ball, just eludes Taylor. Defending the situation, Witt. And arriving is Smith as Taylor brings her to ground. So 22 points the lead for Launceston. Final minute of the first half. Deloraine find a goal, or are they going to be shut out in the goals column here? Lehman trying to get something going. Drives it deep inside the forward 50. Wouldn't sit for poke. Schoenmaker clattered into by Meeburn, who continues to apply the forward 50 pressure. And was just a little overzealous in her attempts this time. Collected Poppy Schoenmaker, who gets the free kick. One good kick here would just about take him to the half-time break. Was precise by foot. Found Hillier. Hillier heading wide, searching for Hill. Competing with Cameron. Both get a hand to it and across the line. Half-time siren imminent. 22-point lead for Launceston. And there it is. The siren sounds. It's Launceston. They'll be delighted with their work. 4-1 to 3 behinds. It was Jamie Todman with 3 goals for her side. Herbel got the other one. The Stars showing up and threatening to cause a bit of a boil over here against Deloraine. Second place and won 2 of the 3 meetings between the sides this year. The earliest of the meetings was a draw. 48-27 and 22-10 in rounds 9 and 13 respectively. And Launceston carrying their momentum from last week's big win over Scottsdale into this one. Deloraine have got it all to do in the second half. Apologies for the technical issues, unable to bring you quarter number 1 there, which saw Launceston exploding out to a handy lead. A 22-point buffer at halftime. We'll be back soon with the second half. Launceston taking big strides towards a grand final appearance next week. Deloraine with it all to do. Back soon with the second half.
team, of course, goes through to the grand final next week against North Launceston. Already got Launceston and South next week playing in the under-18s and reserves. And the way things are going, they may also be playing in the grand final next week. So just remains to be decided later on who's going to be the combatants next week at York Park, Utah Stadium, in the men's competition. So pretty soon, Andrew Cooling will be back with you, calling the second half here at Windsor Park. And at the moment, it's Deloraine trailing Launceston, 3 behind 3 points. Launceston at 4-1-25. The action will be back underway fairly shortly.
So about to get underway in the second half of this NTFA Women's Preliminary Final. It's Launceston with a 22-point advantage after the first half. Thanks primarily to the work of a young star, Jamie Todman, kicking 3 goals. Year 10 student, the young gun, turning it on, kicked 3 of her side's 4 goals. Has them very well positioned to cause a bit of an upset here. We're expecting a tight game, but Deloraine probably favourites given they'd won 2 of the past 3 against Lonnie and finished second on the ladder. But if they are going to progress and get a rematch with South Launceston, they're going to have to turn it on in the second half. As Habel won it down, good tackle laid there by Meeburn. She really brought the defensive heat that second quarter there, trying to will her side back into the contest with her tenacity. Mitchell Grima just beaten in the air there by Hill. Radford got a hand up. Umpire's whistle at Horry sounded, and the free kick's going to go the way of Mitchell Grima, who plays on. Just thought perhaps that Habel had encroached on the mark. The umpire not agreeing with her. So Deloraine looking to be precise by foot early on here as they try and work their way back into the game. That's chopped off though by Shannon Dunn. Dunn heads into the corridor. Beautifully brought down there by Todman. He'll charge forward after sharing it with Kikoak, who's going to charge in towards 50. Let's fly from long range towards the teeth of goal. Spilt by Brow. A chance perhaps here for Johnston. Shares it there with Thompson. Thompson. Centering handball was an intelligent one to Todman. And Todman, just with the low kick. And it was a goalkeeper back on the line to prevent her from finding a fourth. Danger not passed though. Witt locked up there by Smith. Not sure if Todman was aware of the presence of basically the goalkeeper back there. And she snapped, turned and snapped. Just needs some more elevation on the kick. This one's floating across the line. And out of bounds on the full. It'll be Lehman to take over. Guides it. Searching, couldn't quite find a teammate. Maybe one, some strong body work there from Mitchell Grima. In the end, Whitehead brought to ground. Handball over the top from Hill. Baxter couldn't take it cleanly. Mitchell Grima thumps it out. Whitehead trying to wrench it clear. Habel, body on the line, but climbed on top of by Mitchell Grima and Whitehead. Kikoak beaten in the ruck on that occasion. Stevenson forced towards the line. Thompson applying some pressure. Whitehead climbs in after it. Another stoppage. Kikoak won it down. Handed wide by Mitchell Grima. Tackle laid there by Kikoak. Umpire calls play on advantage. Worked back inside the forward 50. Smith applying some pressure. Handled out of there by Baxter, and then Whitehead heaves it out and they survive. Evans shares it wide and they'll work it down the line. Searching ball there for Bowman. Bowman just keeps it in play. Darts back inside. Sharp play there from Georgie Bowman. Can she find Taylor? Not quite. Arriving was Kelsey Hill to break it up. Mitchell Grima in there. Fed out by Baxter. Dahan sent tumbling there by Hillier. Great tackle and rewarded. It was, in fact, Shannon Dunn wins the free kick. Quite fine. The Burl in the middle of the ground. The couple flying against her. Slap down. Dunn works it back to Leonard. And it looked up, saw some pressure in her face, so just rather intelligently lofted one over the top to Hill, who shares it with Radford. Radford now Drives it up towards the half-forward line. Getting back with the flight. Evans broke it up before Witt could bring it in. Witt dives in after it. Mitchell Grimer likewise there. Here's Kikowak. Kikowak now launching it wide. Too wide as it turns out, and it's out of bounds on the full. So it's Launceston doing the bulk of the attacking here. Favourable end with the way the wind is blowing. Kikowak tries to get rid of Whitehead, but she's stripped of the football. That's holding the ball. So Alex Whitehead guards it short. Gonna be tough sledding into the wind here for the Roos this quarter, but 22 points in arrears. Can't afford to let this margin blow out further. It's a high wire act they're facing here in the second half. Whitehead has been tenacious to start this quarter. And Sabel can't escape her clutches. Hill slaps it down. Paddling it on was Lefevre. Buffeted off the kick by Baxter. Mitchell Grimer just overrunning the football. Whitehead pressured by Radford, who escorts her across the line. Busy here in quarter number 3. There's Whitehead. Moving up the wrong end of the ground as far as the Roos are concerned, though. Launceston will be quite content as Sabel tries to escape, but has the arm latched on by Whitehead, and she wins the free kick. Superbly done. Habel just trying to bust her way through with strength, but Whitehead just latched on to that arm, prevented her getting the disposal away. An absolute rock off half back thus far this quarter. One floats out the back to Witt. Scoop the handball over the top to Kelsey Hill. Trying to bust on through is done. Fed out by Baxter, and then Hill has her name written all over this. Takes the relieving mark, then heads inboard. Launceston now on the attack, looking to extend the lead further. It's White driving up the ground and launching it deep inside 50. Almost Kikowak, not quite. Won the ball back, fed a handball across, might receive it back again here. Lilani Kikowak. She's brought down by Brow. Free kick paid the way of the Roos. Another possession coming out for Whitehead. Diving was Cameron, just got there. Sprawling effort from her to reel it in just inside. Moving the ball into this win, proving tough sledding for Deloraine. Coming over the top is Hill to break it up. Fed out by Meeburn. And a firm tackle laid by Leonard. Tumbling forward, but again, it's chopped off. It's just a wall. This part of the ground being erected by Launceston at the moment. Shannon Dunn with another intercept mark. She's turned it over back the other way, though. As Mitchell Grimer heads in the Bass direction. Thompson wrestles it clear of her, and then Schoenmaker with a hurried kick towards the middle of the ground. Volleyed back towards the wing. Lefevre darting inbound. The kick chopped off. Another possession coming up for Whitehead, continuing to rack it up here in quarter number 3. Uses this one nicely. There's Beaumont, just hits down the line again for Mitchell Grimer. Now this is the kick that's been causing them problems here. Advancing the ball much further has proven difficult, so they give it back to Whitehead, who's used her possessions pretty well this quarter. So not a bad option. She has to kick to a contest, just hovers in the wind, but eventually fell the way of Bass, who launches it inside the forward 50. Charging out after this one with authority is Hayley White, and she clears the area with a thumping roost up in the direction of Witt. Couldn't bring it in, and Deloraine will go forward again, but White takes the relieving mark once more. A general in defence, keeping things well organised back there. Here's Witt under some pressure, able to shrug free and get a handball away. Lehman kicks it round the corner and turns it over. Georgia Hill there for Launceston. So no scores here as Whitehead gets yet another disposal. See the wind, the flag's in the background there. That's why it's proving so tough for Deloraine. They're winning the ball on the defensive side, but just struggling to move the ball up the ground. Leave themselves some work to do in the final term. Lack of scoring suits Launceston just fine, given their first half, particularly that of Jamie Todman. 3 of their 4 goals. Here come the Roos again. Can they snag one against the wind and give themselves just a good look in this final quarter? If they can just get close enough, give themselves a sniff. At the moment, Launceston defending resolutely, and again, another potential attack shut down by Shannon Dunn. Hill went early. Mitchell Grimer spiked it back towards the middle of the ground. Lefevre handed it off there to Radford. Radford found Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker went searching for Smith. Was opposed by Taylor Smith there. It was Sienna. Todman fighting for it at ground level. Umpire will call for it. No, eventually spilled out, and he signalled play on, was hovering. Thought he was going to call, but gave it every chance, and eventually it does break open. Launceston win the ball back via Herberl. Has it paddled back in her direction there by Schoenmaker. She picked out Hill with a nice handball, and now Hill sets it up inside 450. Guess who? Whitehead, another intercept mark. Ran it superbly. Stabs it to Lehman, juggles it. They're holding on to the back of the Roos. They're going to have the winds at their back in the final quarter. Chance to come home with a wet sail. They can't afford to concede one in this quarter, though, and you fancy they might just need to snag one before the 3-quarter time siren were to sound. High ball. See your bodies back there. Cleared away once again by the Roos. Mitchell Grimer slaps it on the boot. Out the back it spills for Hillier. Hillier's brought down. That's a great tackle laid there by Bowman. And rewarded. Bowman looks to share it with Baxter. Baxter will punch it in deep. Can they find a marking target? No, Radford was dropping back, and she takes the relieving mark and spreads it out to Schoenmaker. And Bobby Schoenmaker stabs it, searching there for Rosso. All done by Lehman, just to lock it to Hillier. Force a stoppage. Hill rose high, won it down. Herberl toes it off the ground in the direction of Smith. Smith might have been held without it there by Taylor Smith, and was. Sienna Smith will get the free kick. Waste no time. Heads in the direction of Kikoak. Cameron defending the situation. Kikoak brings her down. Locked in, and they'll toss it up once more. Trying to get free is Radford. The handball just a bit too high for Witt. Going back in for it, Radford. A chance now for the Roos. They went searching for Chilcott. Was broken up ahead of her. Goes back in. High contact free kick. It's going to go the way of Leonard, who can head wide. Trying to reel in Schoenmaker, but she was slung and dispossessed by Taylor. Trying to find something here. Deloraine. Mitchell Grimer again towards the half-forward line. This one marked by Meeburn. Spreads it inside towards Baxter. Baxter about to get run down. Just got boot to ball in time. Hill doing the defensive work away from Dehaan. They clear the vicinity once more, but it's chopped off by Whitehead, who will send them inside with a pinpoint kick that was spilt by Chilcott. It's going to come right back at them again, though. Deloraine pushing here. Late in quarter number 3. Stevenson tried to find Chilcott. Hill again defends. The Launceston defence has been calm and composed under pressure this quarter. Herberl tries to crash through, but she's brought down by Mitchell Grimer. Spills out the way of Baxter. Stevenson had her kick smothered. Herberl just throwing her body around. Another possession for Whitehead, but she's brought down as she got boot to ball. Fed out in the direction of Baxter. The umpire says thrown out. And this Launceston rear guard just will not yield. Also going to have to go back behind the mark. Goal would be so valuable against the wind here for Deloraine. As it stands, they're going to have to find 4 in the final quarter. They haven't kicked one all day. They've been on top for this quarter, though. Just found it tough to move the football. It's a strong mark taken by Poppy Schoenmaker. Short she goes for the overlapping Georgia Hill. Strides out of defence and thumps it down the line. Whitehead, another disposal, steps back inside. Bit of pressure on Lehman as she gets her kick away. The ball just eludes Witt. Now an opportunity in the final minute of the quarter. Oh, Bass was put under all sorts of pressure. Bit of a hospital handball, that one from Dehaan. Really sold her down the river there. Had 2 players bearing down on her, did Bella Grace Bass. Rising high was Hill. Dehaan able to get free. Hill won it down. Whitehead wrapped up and going nowhere. 3/4 time siren imminent. Anyone get a quick clearance? The siren went out. The siren does win out, so a scoreless quarter here in the preliminary final. That will suit Launceston just fine. Unchanged scoreboard from half-time. It's still 4-1 to 3 straight behinds. Launceston did have the wind at their backs that quarter, couldn't make use of it. Deloraine probably had the better of general play, just found it tough sledding kicking into that wind. The Launceston defence rock solid whenever Deloraine did threaten. They're going to need to find 4 goals in the final quarter. It would be some sort of victory from here. It would be a famous win if Deloraine were to come over the top of them. Launceston very well positioned indeed at 3/4 time. We'll see if they can finish the job shortly. A 22-point lead, just as it was at halftime. It's 25, plays 3/4 time at Windsor Park. So we're back for the final term here. It's Launceston with a 22-point lead in the preliminary final. Deloraine with it all to do. Launceston scored a goal early in quarter number 2. Since then, just a couple of behinds to show for it. Basically, since the technical difficulties were resolved and we're able to stream it to you, the scoring's completely stopped. Deloraine fans will be hoping the scoring can resume here in the final term. They need 4 goals to win it. Launceston very nicely positioned as Hill wins the first hit out, but an opportunity for Whitehead, who was immense in that previous quarter. Try and get a clearance. That's a wonderful Radford tackle. Wins the holding the ball free kick, and Herbel will storm out of the centre now. Lofts it in the Kikoak direction. Who comes over the top, wasn't paid the mark. She's now tackled by Whitehead and is pinged for holding the ball. A little stiff there. Leilani Kikoak had a lot of it. Umpire says there were 2 hands. Whitehead continuing her starring role. Heads to the middle of the ground. Fed out by Lefevre. Whitehead again. Turns back onto a preferred left side and then lofts it up towards the middle of the ground. Hill taps it on. Had some support from Hardcastle. Couldn't quite find her. Hardcastle brings it under a spell then. Looks a kick straight to Whitehead though. Whitehead's ball through the hands of Bass. Now Baxter, 2-on-1. A chance here for the Roos. Can they find something at half forward here? Doing really well to arrive and spoil was Weinberg. Smith pressuring Todman, who has 3 of the game's 4 goals. Jamie Todman looming as the match winner. Unless the Roos can pull off something miraculous here in quarter number 4. Smith with an up and under. Bounced away from Witt. Meeburn comes in. Shared it with Stevenson. Stevenson looks to heave it back over the top. Followed her own work up there and then just wrests it clear and just bullocks it out of there. Strength and a good kick too. Finds Sess Cameron. Can Cameron find a target inside the forward 50? Sets it up. High ball out the back. Evans will try and track it down. Gets shoved over there by White. Handball back inside. Weinberg gets a hand either way. Cameron goes back in for it, trying to get it clear. Somehow manufactured a handball across to Bass. Mass's kick bounces up towards Hillier. Pressure arrives from Bowman. Bowman burrowing in after it. Can't get free of Hillier. Brings her down. And the defence just holding firm behind there. It's worked across the line. But the lead is 21 points. This Launceston defence was unyielding in quarter number 3. As White takes it out of defence. Her kick though chopped off by Mitchell Grimer. Mitchell Grimer called to play on. Lofts it up high towards the goal line. White gets back, gets a hand on it. They'll be happy to see that through via Kelsey Hill. Another behind. It's goals that the Roos need. Not behinds. The lead cut back to 20 points. Launceston jumping. The Roos in the opening term. Kicked one early in the second term. Here's Mitchell Grimer. Mitchell Grimer, let's fly from range. Won't quite have the journey. Mearburn has some support from Evans. They got a 2-on-1. Surely a chance here. There it is. It's Evans who kicks her sides first. And they cut the lead back to 14 points. They're not done just yet, Deloraine. They're still in this one. They got the wind at their backs in quarter number 4. And perhaps that can be the spark that Deloraine were after. 14 points the margin. They've got 1, they need 3 more. In general play, they've been completely on top in the second half. They can keep getting the ball deep inside 50. Who knows? Here's 1. They need 3 more. Maybe only 2 more. They could be behind, so we'll wait and see. Either way, Launceston can't afford to make grand final plans just yet. Fed out there to Stevenson, to Baxter. Baxter kicks it round the corner, searching for Meerburn. Nicely defended though. Now Launceston back towards the middle of the ground. It'll be chopped off. That's a great tackle laid there by Georgia Hill. Wins the free kick. And she'll send the Blues forward, Georgia Hill. High ball to a one-on-one. Taken away there from Kukowak. Just outpointed by Whitehead. She's been magnificent. Clears it up towards the wing, only so far as Radford looks to dart inside but couldn't get around the opponent. They'll send it inside now. Kukowak. Almost, not quite. Just taken away from it at the last second by Beaumont. Towards the line, Rosso applying some pressure. Wins the ball free. Tried to find Kukowak, but in the end it's sharked by Whitehead. Tumbles a kick outside of 50. Mitchell Grimer shared it well. Up the wing they go. Too much on it though for Meerburn, but she'll receive the handball. It's open on ahead of her. Meerburn heads inside. She had Bowman in acres of space. It wasn't a great kick to her though. She's now got 2 to beat Beauburn. And Schoenmaker can take it away. Just a little untidy. Driving like a thief in the night there was Todman just to win that ball away and forces the stoppage. Launceston looking to defeat Deloraine for the first time this year. Here's Habel. Habel shrugs free and drives her side up towards the forward 50. Kukowak beaten in the air by Whitehead again. She has had stacks of it, but that one not a good one. Favoured Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker though turns it right back over. The pressure of the preliminary final just causing a few errors, and now the Roos will go forward via Bowman. Shared it with Baxter. Baxter launches it high in the direction of Meerburn. Had it spoiled away from a bit of fell for Evans. Shared it back with Meerburn. Meerburn snapping from the pockets. A remarkable goal for Meerburn. And they're back within 8 points, the Roos. A stunning team goal. A brilliant finish from Hayley Meerburn. And it's game on at Windsor Park. They've kicked the first 2 of the final term. And they're back within 8 points with the wind at their backs. Could they come from the clouds here, Deloraine? Has not kicked a goal heading into this final term, but they've found 2 now. And suddenly, the pressure is being dialed up on the Blues. The Roos are coming. And they are coming hard. 8 points the margin. Strap yourselves in. Grandstand finish coming up here. Haberl, the star of this Launceston side. She's brought down by Mitchell Grimer. Some nervousness through the Blues playing ranks now. Whitehead with another kick. Works it half forward, spills out the back. Shared nicely by Cameron. Got it to Bowman. Works it in the direction of Bass. Umpire says free kick and advantage. Hardcastle looks to seize the advantage. Drives them out of defence and picks out Todman. Todman works it down to Kukowak. She'll loft it inside the forward 50. Spoil came from behind. Smith battling with Brough. Oh, it's going to be a ball up. Game on at Windsor Park. All of a sudden, the Roos are looming large here. To force a rematch with South Launceston. Cameron couldn't gather cleanly. Did it the second time of asking. The handball, though, was shut down. Nicely done by Kelsey Hill to break it up. Taylor. Oh, nicely played there by Dunn. Read the intent. Forces the Blues forward. They're able to repel. Clearing the danger is Whitehead, just thumps it for territory. Will they get an accommodating bounce? Trying to keep it in. Cameron did ever so well. That ball looked destined to go out of play before Cameron flicked the hand there. And they'll get a stoppage on the wing instead. Past the halfway mark of the final quarter, 8 points the margin. It was 22 points at three-quarter time as the ball spills through the hands of Hillier. Able to go back and get it. Her handball finds Hill. Hill through some traffic. Shows some composure with a lovely kick to Georgia Hill. Kelsey finds Georgia as they look to just settle things down. Hill now directs traffic. Tried to find Kikoak, but that's intercepted there by Lehman. Lehman guides it inside. Good kick to Baxter. Baxter by hand to Stevenson. Stevenson drives them to centre half forward. Bass had it knocked away from her. Trying to clear the area, Hillier. Kick found its way through to Dunn, but the umpire's whistle had sounded some late contact there. It'll be a free kick away of the Blues, who will waste no time. Short ball finds Hill. Happy to take some time off the clock where they can, Launceston, but that kick is straight down the throat of Gina Taylor. Taylor kicks it right back to Kelsey Hill. Hill played on. Wide ball off hands. Whitehead fighting away for it. Somehow managed to get a kick away, but she couldn't quite keep it in, and it's going to be Radford's ball. That's going to be tossed in. My apologies. So 8 points the lead. Slapped on by Mitchell Grimer. Another disposal for Whitehead. She's been immense. Gets it to Baxter. Trying to juggle the mark was Mearburn. She'll battle for it at ground level. Hillier was there for the Blues. Forced back in the direction of Williams. Mearburn's kick blocked off. Was well defended by Taylor Leonard. She put her head over the football, applied the smother, and stopped Deloraine driving it deep inside the forward 50. Just over 5 minutes left to hold on. Whitehead pushing up around the ball now. Why not? She has willed her side back into this contest. Might get another disposal here if it'll sit for her. She has to instead just wrap it to the chest of Hillier. They're just holding on the Blues. The Roos dialing up the pressure. All pinballing around. Somehow getting clear Stevenson and then forced forward by Mitchell Grimer. It was intercepted back there though by Weinberg. And Tiffany Weinberg will head wide. Play the percentages. Kicks to a sea of bodies. Rising over the top was Baxter. Hill in the direction of Smith. Couldn't trap it. Taken away though from Williams. Smith gets the kick clear. Sends her towards the half-forward line. Kikoak arriving to apply some pressure here, but able to get the ball away is Smith. Ball to be won, and winning it is Whitehead. Somehow escaped, got boot to ball. And it trickles out of play. So Hill can take over. 4 minutes away from victory. They've just steadied in the last few minutes as the Roos had all the momentum. But Baxter will force them forward once again. Bass tracking the football towards the line. Didn't get an accommodating bounce. Schoenmaker arriving on the scene. Handball back inside. Here's Cameron. Oh, brilliantly shut down by Weinberg. Just flung a hand out and smothered it magnificently. then follows up, and she'll try and force the stoppage, and with some help from Show Maker, they do. Couple of massive defensive efforts in this final term from Weinberg. Hill works her way to the football, won it down straight to Baxter, however. Baxter screws it towards the pocket. The umpire's blown a free kick in favour of Leonard. The kick marked by Taylor, though. 3 minutes to go. They've not got time to waste here. Too far out to score, so she'll just set it up. Weinberg with another spoil. Mearburn just ran out of real estate and fell across the line. Deep in attack here, Deloraine. Can they find a goal and make it a one-score game here? Time running out. They need to strike. Evans was dispossessed. Done. Turning the screws here. The Lonnie defence holding on. Deloraine with an almighty push. One down. Cleared out of there by Herberl. High, swirling ball. Difficult for anyone to track. Whitehead again in there, trying to get free, but this time Dunn has a hold of her, and she can't shrug clear. And we're inside the final 2 minutes now. They're almost there, Launceston, but Deloraine are going to make them earn it. They are pushing hard here towards the finish line. Sandball from Stevenson. Williams in after it. Final 90 seconds. They've got a strike here. As Mitchell Grimer's kick didn't get much purchase on it, and Herberl sees it, and she'll be well suited just to get some territory here. She does that. Kicks it up there down the wing. Witt's kick was smothered. Little margin for error now for Deloraine as they tick towards the final minute. And Todman is able to force it forward. Umpire's whistle has sounded. And it's a free kick for the Blues. And they can run some crucial seconds here. I don't know that the Roos have enough time now. Kikoak. Again, body on the line stuff from Whitehead. The best player on the ground in this second half. She's going to get the... No, it's going to be a ball up here. Final 30 seconds. Surely they're home now, Launceston. Kikoak wins it down. Smith after it. Dunn just hacks it off the deck. It'll be forced forward here by Baxter. Mark was spilt. Perhaps an opening here as Bowman works it across to Perry. Perry couldn't find Mearburn. Hill out the back. Will clear defensive 50. And the siren is about to sound. And Launceston about to punch their ticket. There it is. It's Launceston into the grand final. They turn the tables on Deloraine and set up a derby with South Launceston in the grand final. It'll be Launceston v South Launceston next week. Deloraine fell by 8 points. It was Jamie Todman who kicked 3 goals in the first quarter and a bit. They had a 25-1 lead early in the second quarter. From there, they did not score. It did not matter. They held firm. Deloraine gave an almighty push, but they simply had too much to do late on. And Launceston held firm at the back and punched their ticket through to the grand final. They win the preliminary final by 8 points. And Deloraine are sent packing. It's Launceston who'll progress from a 4th place finish into a grand final appearance. Holding on with some strong defensive work after Todman did the damage early on. The year 10 student kicking 3 goals for a side. Deloraine kicked 2 early in the first half of the final quarter, but they could find no more. And Launceston get the job done. Apologies for the technical difficulties that prevented us bringing out those Tottenham goals for you early on. Unfortunately, we missed that, but it's Launceston who will progress off the back of those 3 goals, and they advance with an 8-point victory. I've been Andrew calling the action for AFL Tasmania. Thank you for tuning in. It's bye for now.